favorite apps. So we just opened it. This is some of the top 5 beginners tips that I would give to someone that just opened the app for the first time. So if you can see on the top there, there's the Snapchat Ghost. We're going to click on him or her, and you'll see this kind of home base for all of your information. And what's great about this is if you meet someone new and you want them to be your friend on Snapchat, so you meet them at a party or something along those lines, they can just scan this like they would a QR code. And this is actually my real Snapchat QR code, if you will. And so you could point your Snapchat camera at the screen, tap it, and it would add me as you're watching this video right now. But what's also really cool about this, I mean, this is, if you click this question mark on the top left, so Snapchatters can add you by pointing their camera at the ghost and tapping their screen. So that's pretty awesome. And this white area in the middle, it's not part of the QR code, so you could put a different picture there, you could shade it black, you could do anything you really wanted to there, cover it with, a slideshow of different pictures, anything that you really wanted to do, all that would be totally fine. And so that's the first beginner's trick is how to share and scan other people's QR codes. Definitely give that a try. You can give it a try now by scanning this QR code. Maybe it's your first time, maybe it's your 100th time. Give it a try and see what I'm doing on Snapchat and on my Snapchat stories. Next one is filters. That one's one of my favorites. So let's take a picture real quick. I like to draw on a black canvas for one reason or another, but since I just took the picture, you can scan to the left as you would scroll through anything on your phone, and you can tell what time it is, and this would be an overlay on any picture that you have. One thing that not a lot of people know is if you hold the screen and then scroll to the left again, you can add 2 different filters at the same time. This is my geo filter. I believe it's all of Utah as far as I know. Shout out Shonduras. I believe he had something to do with that. But yeah, the way that you do that again is just go to one of the filters that you want. Let's say this one, which I believe is the Shonduras filter. Put your thumb down and then continue to scroll, and you can add 2 filters. I don't believe it works for geo filters, but definitely both of these. Time, temperature, speed, anything like that, or some of these other filters. You can throw those together. And I'm not doing anything crazy. This is just part of how the app is built. So we're going to try to get rid of all that and just keep one. So those filters are cool for both color filters a la Instagram, but it's also really cool. Some of the geo filters, I've seen cool ones in Vegas. I've seen cool ones in California. Really, they're wherever you are, there's probably a geo filter dedicated to your area. And if you aren't seeing those filters, make sure to go into settings, which is back on your home screen. You can see on the Snapchat symbol, you can see the settings on the top right there. Click that, go to additional services, manage, and then in there you'll see filters, front-facing flash, replay, and power save mode. I don't want to go there now because I don't want to share any sensitive information that I don't want getting out to the World Wide Web, phone number and email address, things of that nature. So you go there and turn on the filters and front-facing flash. Replay is a great one, but filter is probably the most important for your Snapchat experience. And the next one, let's go back to taking a picture. So this one is really cool. I do a lot of drawings. So of course we're drawing with this here with the red, but you can paint with any color here. Let's go with green, just anything that you wanted to do, so you can make some pretty intense colors. This is on iOS, and white and black are not readily available as far as the rainbow spectrum as they show there. So if you grab on to the rainbow spectrum and drag this way like so, but you have to start on the rainbow spectrum. So start there and drag, and you'll see the color on the top right turn to white. So now I can draw with white, and that's definitely worthwhile for any number of drawings. And again, that would be touching your finger to the color spectrum and then dragging it all the way to the left, and you'll get white. The same is true as if you go all the way to white and then drag your finger down to the bottom. You're going to get different shades of gray here, 50 shades of gray, if you will, and that'll go all the way down to black, and you're not going to be able to see that well. Maybe I can show you. So here's a little bit of white background. Let's drag all the way to the bottom for black, and I can draw over that. Take forever, if you will, but I am drawing with black, and that's really worthwhile for specific portions of drawings. It's not always useful when you have a black canvas, which I do some of the time, but that's definitely a useful. That was the third trick. The next one is changing the color of the font. So this is worthwhile. This is your font here. You can not only change the size of it and its location by clicking that T button on the top area of the screen, but you can also change the color. So if you click the word, it'll bring up an availability for you to type further, but you can also, just as you would change the color on your drawing ink, you would change the color here the same way, and you can change individual letters colors. I'll show you an example of that. So if we select just N and T, you can switch that to be red, and so on and so forth. I mean, you could make it be its own. You can make your own Google logo there. Anything that you really wanted to do, it's based on individual letters, so you can change and customize your Snapchats to your heart's content, which I think is really cool. Another thing, so we just changed the color of the font. You can also change the size of that, and so that's cool. It's just like you're zooming in on a picture or anywhere else, and then if you drag it with 2 fingers, you can move it to any angle, size. You can make it real small, anything that you wanted to do. So this type of customization is real new to late 2014. So here we are in 2015, still enjoying it. And so that's cool as far as moving the font to wherever you want it to be, first off. But people use emojis all the time. I definitely do in my emojis. So let's use this emoji, for example, one of my favorites. You can also scale this to different sizes as well. As big as you want, I think you can go, yeah, just as big can be, just the one eye. Anything you want, or you can make it as small as possible. Again, that's with the multi-touch. That's true for any platform that you're accessing Snapchat on, iOS most of all. But you could just add that as its own little tiny watermark, if you will. It's probably not the case most of the time to be making it that tiny. You make it smaller than what it is. Oh yeah, that's great. So you could just hide that in a Snapchat if you really wanted to for an Easter egg. But that's true for any emoji, which is great. Oop, just got a filter on accident. Like I said, this is true for all the other fonts too. You can't change the color of the emojis. Granted, within the iOS you can with some of these fingers here. You know, you got white and all sorts of different variations there. And then the general yellow, Simpsons color, if you will. Let's get rid of all those, and that would be changing the font. So again, we went over your QR code, which is at the very top here. That's the most important. Again, if you've downloaded Snapchat in this amount of time, be sure to give that a scan. I would love to see you over there. I do a lot of Snapchatting for the public and on my Snapchat stories, so feel free to give that a scan. We went over filters. We went over drawing with black, white, and different shades of gray. We went over changing the color of font and changing the size of the font. So I'm really happy to share all these tricks which are built into the app itself. If you know of any tricks that I didn't cover but you think are worthwhile, or new functionality that have been added since I made this video, feel free to drop those in the comments below. If you don't want to scan just the QR code, my username is Micah, my first name, and How, the first 3 letters of my last name. So you can see it there. You could type that in if you really want to see my snaps. You're going to see one at the end of this video, the snap that I made just earlier today for Star Wars Day. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, if you will. Hope you're enjoying Snapchat. I hope you continue to enjoy Snapchat, and we'll catch you in the next video.